Welcome to the Fens. This is very much my backyard. It's where I was born and bred. But there's one thing with the Fens, it's got a bit of a reputation for some strange people. Now normally that's something I'd strongly disagree with, but this morning, The reason for my reticence is down to the two people I'm about to meet for breakfast here at the Greenwelly Roadside Cafe at Chatteris, just north of Cambridge. John Watson and Bill Hancock are two anglers I have a huge amount of respect for. John has lived in this area pretty much all his life and he knows the waters around here like the back of his hand. Bill was originally an Islington boy, but now I consider him a local. Now I know we all have our own special places that we like to keep to ourselves, but John and Bill have kindly agreed to share one of their little secrets with me. However, there are conditions.
It's either this or what do you want?
Well, since I fancy living, I think I'll go for the chav kidnap.
This is for you.
Ever had the feeling you're part of a massive wind-up? Still, I'm not going to grumble too much because where they're going to take me is on private land, and normally it's off limits to the average angler, so the guys have assured me it's a real sweet spot. However, that said, I do strongly suspect that this is more to do with entertaining Bill and John rather than an issue of secrecy. Growing up as I did around this area, well, really you just have to become a predator angler. There's so many waters around here and the whole place is steeped in the folklore of pike and pike fishing. It's just a pike fishing mecca, and so, not being one to sway too much from the crowd, I joined in as well. Right, well after that extraordinary rendition from the Greenwelly car park, as you can see we finally arrived at the drain. It's very typical of Fenland out here. As you can see, it's wide sweeping landscape, and this is a very typical fen drain. These are what are known as land drains. Now land drains are used to keep the water off the fields in the winter time, because obviously all of Fenland was once upon a time nothing more than a giant swamp really. And these ones keep the soil nice and good for farming in the winter time. As far as the weather goes today, at the moment it's not a bad day. It's a little bit got a bit of nip to it. There's a little bit of a breeze, but it's not really affecting the drain greatly. However, we've got some very, very bad weather coming in because there's some torrential rain coming in and some very strong winds. So after all, it is February, we should get rough weather like this. John and Bill assure me that we're going to catch, so let's see if we do. How many have I got? I thought you brought your entire range out with you today, did you? Right, main tactics for the day are going to be float and ledgering live baits and dead baits. These drains are normally absolutely packed full of pike. Really, really good pike waters, very rich because they're running amongst the farm soil. There's lots of bream, lots of roach, all down just tiny weeny little drains like this. It's quite amazing really. Right, the rigs that we're going to be using today, very, very simple. There's really no need to overcomplicate pike fishing. Both Bill and John and myself will all tell you the same. It's really, really simple kind of fishing. So what we have is we've got a 2-hook treble trace, and these are size 4 trebles. Red's optional, but most of them are a bronze colour. So we'll have these 2 hooks there, and from that these will be mounted onto about around about 18 inches to 2 feet of trace wire. This is Fox Carboflex, which is a carbon coated trace wire. It's just to make it a bit tougher, stands up to pike's teeth. You must use a trace for pike. Their teeth are so sharp they'll go through any other substance, so it must be wire. At the end of that trace we have a buffer bead, and the buffer bead there is nice and soft rubber, and it's just designed to stop our free running rig here, our ledger boom. Just stops it there on the trace, stops it running over the hooks. Now we use this because it will stand up on the bottom upright when we're fishing with it, and basically what will happen then is when we get a take, line runs nice and easily through the middle there, and doesn't give any resistance to taking fish. So they don't feel anything's wrong, and they'll carry on taking the bait. Above that we have one of Bill's own red floats. These are special floats, these ones, because basically most floats will be coloured to that point, and this will either be clear or it'll be in a different colour. Now these are all red, and the reason why they're all red is because any way they sit in the current or in the wind, when you're using them, you can see them. It's a very simple idea, but it's a very effective one, and it's also good for pike conservation because at the end of the day you can see exactly what's happening all the time. And above that, just a very simple bead, and that's just stops up there on a stop knot, and is set to the depth that we're fishing. So there's supposed to be plenty of pike in here. Now we're going to get this rig in here and let's see if there is. Just like that. What a lot of people don't realise is John and Bill are both fishing guides. Now, fishing guide is a bit of a new one to this country. If you were over in the States or other foreign countries, you always have somebody who takes you and teaches you how to fish or shows you where to fish. Both of these guys guide, I have to say, you couldn't ask for two better people to take you. Bill will just have you in stitches from the very start of the day to the end of it. He's a quality bloke. And John has also caught some cracking fish for the customers. I believe he's got the biggest guide caught zander in the country, which was over 16 pounds, which is a huge fish. I haven't even caught one that big on my own travels. So that's the sort of guys that we're fishing with today. Within minutes of setting up, Bill's into a fish.
First one. Yeah. Yeah, they fight like little tigers here, don't they? Fen tigers.
You're just playing it for the camera, man. Come on.
Ah, leave them. Oh, I'll tell you what, I ain't not giving this a swimming lesson, am I? This one's coming. One of many today, touch wood. All right, John. Let's bring him up. Oh, they're all fat here. They're so fat.
Now, as we're about to unhook Bill's fish, in the distance I can just hear my alarms going off. And, like an East Anglian Usain Bolt, I make for my rods, covering the distance in the blink of an eye.